Jensen entered the prison, adorned with tattoos, as he stepped into the cell. One of the inmates immediately began to hassle him, while another slyly acknowledged him, indicating their unique way of welcoming newcomers. Inside the cell, a scuffle broke out, drawing the attention of the guards, who found one prisoner seemingly asleep on the floor. Despite the reputation of the prison for housing dangerous criminals, Jensen observed his fellow inmates without trepidation. On the following day, during lunch in the dining hall, a bald man approached Jensen, signaling trouble. Sensing the impending altercation, two individuals who had been sitting with Jensen quickly distanced themselves. The bald man proceeded to contaminate Jensen's food and attempted to provoke him, but Jensen remained composed, unwilling to incite trouble on his first day behind bars. Another man then confronted Jensen, accusing him of murdering his wife for betrayal. Angered by the accusation, Jensen was reminded of his wife's death at the hands of an unknown assailant. Suddenly, police arrived and arrested him upon discovering a knife in his possession, the same weapon used in his wife's murder, leading to his incarceration. In the midst of the altercation, Jensen exchanged blows with his adversary before the bald man intervened, escalating the conflict. As the situation spiraled, prison guards intervened, warning Jensen of the repercussions for his actions. Subsequently, Jensen was escorted to the warden's office, presided over by Lisa, whose agenda extended beyond typical prison management. Jensen, a seasoned professional race car driver, learned of the prison's notorious death race, a violent spectacle that generated substantial revenue through live broadcasts. The warden, keen on maintaining viewership, proposed a deceitful scheme. Jensen would don the mask of a deceased champion racer to participate in the upcoming event. In exchange for winning the race, the warden promised Jensen freedom, a proposition that aligned with his desire for retribution against his wife's killer. With 3 allies on his side, Jensen was briefed on the race's ruthless rules, emphasizing survival through elimination rounds and the importance of speed. Amidst preparations, a group led by a figure named Cannon Face approached, unaware of the switch in racers. Opting to avoid confrontation, Jensen and his allies withdrew, wary of entanglement with potential adversaries. As new prisoners arrived, Jensen observed distinctive markings on their hands reminiscent of the weapon used in his wife's murder. Suspecting a connection between these newcomers and his wife's killers, Jensen resolved to investigate further. Following the arrival of female prisoners on a specific mission, one of them rode alongside Jensen in the car, quickly discerning the switch in racers and commenting on his appearance compared to the previous contestant. Meanwhile, the prison warden, orchestrating events from a distance, had brought in the female prisoners to serve as guides for the race and boost viewership of the live broadcast. As the race commenced with 9 heavily armored cars, the intensity of competition was palpable, marked by screeching tires and thunderous collisions. Jensen swiftly surged into the lead, navigating the chaotic racecourse where fortunes could change in an instant. Amidst the chaos, Cannonball's car collided forcefully with Jensen's, sending both veering off course. Seizing the opportunity, the warden implemented drastic changes to the race rules, introducing the sword and shield plan. The sword, represented by a symbol on the car's trigger hole cover, unleashed powerful weapons upon activation, while the shield provided protection. Additionally, a skull mark button triggered exploding barriers, intensifying the competitive frenzy. With each car equipped with its own arsenal of offensive and defensive measures, a race became even more fiercely contested. Moreover, the introduction of an oil spraying mechanism added further complexity, making maneuvering increasingly challenging amidst the relentless pursuit of victory. In the midst of the intense race, a car was targeted and eliminated, marking the second knockout of the event. Despite the heightened stakes, Jensen's driving prowess allowed him to navigate the dangers, deploying a small shield from his vehicle to safeguard against incoming threats. When his car was targeted, Jensen enlisted the help of the girl accompanying him, positioning her to activate a mechanism while he focused on evasive maneuvers. Together, they orchestrated a clever tactic, causing the pursuing vehicle to catch fire and falter. Amidst the chaos, Jensen was startled by a gesture from a rival racer, reminiscent of the individual who had taken his wife's life. Suspicions mounted as Jensen realized the possible involvement of his wife's killer within the prison, orchestrated by the warden herself. With the race nearing its conclusion and only 6 contenders remaining, Jensen recognized the need for drastic action. However, his plans were thwarted when the warden pressured him to complete the race, leaving him with no alternative. Seeking answers, Jensen confronted the girl accompanying him, questioning the malfunction of his weapon and the identity of the previous masked racer's killer. Shockingly, she revealed her complicity in sabotaging Jensen's equipment, driven by a self-serving desire to prevent his victory and maintain her own incarceration for continued participation in the race. Faced with this betrayal, Jensen resolved to eliminate the contestant who had attempted to kill him the day before, determined to reclaim control of his fate within the confines of the deadly competition. In a daring move, Jensen slammed on the brakes and accelerated towards his adversary, engaging in a fierce exchange of gunfire. With relentless determination, Jensen's superior weaponry forced the contestant's car to collide with a concrete barrier, causing it to overturn. Despite warnings from the girl accompanying him, Jensen emerged from his vehicle and donned the mask, confronting and ultimately dispatching his opponent with unwavering resolve, a defiant display captured by the live broadcast cameras. Jensen's triumphant defiance convinced the warden of his unmatched prowess, prompting her to deploy the armored vehicle, a creation of Cannon Face, into the chaotic arena. Recognizing the imminent danger, Cannon Face strategically ejected a partner from his car, anticipating the destructive power of the armored vehicle's cannon. With the race transformed into a relentless battle for survival, only two cars remained, Jensen's and Cannonball's. In a desperate bid to outmaneuver the armored threat, Jensen and Cannon Face joined forces, coordinating to block the path of the armored vehicle and deploy a barrier to halt its advance. Their audacious defiance stirred the crowd, marking a historic challenge against the warden's authority. Despite Jensen's victory, the warden's anger simmered, prompting her to plot his demise for the following day. However, a dissenting guard voiced concerns about the potential impact on viewer engagement. Dismissing his apprehensions, the warden reaffirmed her control, determined to assert her authority over the tumultuous proceedings. In a high-stakes finale, the warden covertly orchestrated a plot to sabotage Jensen's car by planting a bomb underneath it. As the race intensified, both Jensen and Cannon Face vied for survival, their cars hurtling at 160 kilometers per hour. However, Jensen's attempts to deploy defensive measures were thwarted by the warden's interference, leaving his vehicle vulnerable to Cannon Face's relentless onslaught. With the odds stacked against him, Jensen turned to his companion for assistance, urging her to dismantle the steel shield protecting the car. Despite their efforts, Cannon Face skillfully evaded the shield, unleashing a devastating rocket launcher that obliterated the prison walls, engulfing the area in smoke and chaos, concealing the events from the warden's view. Seizing the opportunity, Jensen and Cannon Face capitalized on the confusion, escaping from the prison confines and exchanging victorious smiles. Fearing repercussions, the warden terminated the live broadcast and deactivated the car weapons while desperately attempting to apprehend the escaped contestants. As Jensen's team successfully disarmed the bomb planted under his car, the warden's obsession with capturing him escalated to lethal intent. In a daring act of solidarity, Jensen's companion sacrificed herself to distract the pursuing guards, enabling Jensen to flee. In a final twist of fate, the girl emerged wearing the mask, delivering poetic justice as she presented the warden with a gift containing the very bomb intended for Jensen's demise. The explosion claimed the warden's life, freeing Jensen and Cannon Face from her tyranny. In the aftermath, Jensen, Cannon Face, and their valiant companion emerged triumphant, embarking on a new life of freedom and redemption as the movie drew to a close.